Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we'll be talking about how to cope with intense energies that are present right now. We've been talking in the previous videos a lot about it, but it's getting really interesting. Like a disturbing energy would be in the air that is more than anything inspiring us to take care of our integrity, to take care of our values, like how well we are embodying what we are valuing the most. And are we truly demonstrating in the world what we want to see, right? Are we truly practicing becoming the change that we wish to see, or we just allow ourselves to consume whatever is happening and then feeling a victim as a byproduct of that process? So I wanted to create a practical video that can help you to cope with those intense energies, especially if you're a more empathic person and you don't know how to protect, but more than just protect, strengthen your energy, because we can do that. And we'll be talking a lot about this today. So if you're ready, let's dive deep. Well, there are many things we can do right now to handle these energies. And the first thing is that you focus on your needs, because of course you're serving others, you're taking care of others, your family, your friends, and so on. But don't forget about your personal needs. For example, me and Maya were living for 1 year on the coastal side of Slovenia. And then we moved more into the center part of Slovenia, closer to our homes. And here and there, I feel I need to go onto the seaside. Like I miss that air, when you breathe and you smell the sea, and there's a beautiful energy. So here and there, I miss that. And I experience that gentle need that I need to take myself to the seaside. And every time I do that, I follow that inner need. I get there and I experience a sense of a new perspective. I experience a new inspiration for something, or a certain clarity takes place about something that I'm dealing with, or whatever it is. And it only happened because I followed that inner need. And we may have a deep need for rest. We may have a deep need for connecting with some new people that may be on a similar level that we are. So we may exchange our experiences. We may have a need to go to a therapist, or to start certain spiritual practices, or whatever it is. We may have a need to release our emotions and we don't know how. So awareness of your needs right now may be really, really strong, because maybe because of your busy life, you've been ignoring them, and you can't do that anymore because something is awakening within you. And the only way to transform and become more of yourself, become or step into that greater fulfillment, is to recognize your needs and take care of them. Because only that way you can fill up your cup, right? So you have something to give to people around you as well. This is something truly, truly important. And I want to remind you that, because it's so easy to forget about our needs. We put other people on the first place, and then we forget about us. So don't think it's a selfish act when you take care of yourself, when you take care of your needs, when you take care of your self-love, or whatever it is. It's not a selfish thing. That's how you're recharging your cup of life, right? So take care of that. The second thing that is really important for this phase is this awareness. The more we watch what upsets us, or what upset us, the more we feel drawn into it. So if you're constantly looking on social media what's happening on the world, you may recognize that subconsciously you will feel more drawn into it. And then because of algorithms, more you watch those different videos or whatever, more it will start recommending more of those kind of interesting videos that may be feeding your fear or anger or frustration or whatever it is. And on a long term, you will notice that it is rather than informing you, it is harming you. Because deep inside, you already know everything you need to know. Of course, education and information is important, and informing ourselves, well, it's important. But when something becomes toxic, we need to take care of that, right? Stop constantly feeding yourself and your mind with fear and chaos, because you have so much more to do than just being a consumer. And we are in a phase where more and more information is coming out about everything, and we can't comprehend everything. We can't just consume everything. You're here at the first place to serve your mission, to serve your purpose. And if you're just a consumer, you will become like a sponge that is filled with so much of everything that you don't know what to do with that. And you don't need much to serve. You don't need much to be your greatest you. You, more than anything, you need to know how to in tune with yourself and find your needs, find what is calling you, find what you are passionate about, how you want to help people around you, and what can you provide to others. And for that, it's important to recognize what's pulling you out of that state, so you cut those distractions, right? That's something really, really important to know, because that's the thing that is draining a lot of our energy, because it's not just information, but what comes with it. It comes, every time you think about something that may be negative or maybe toxic for us, it awakens a lot of those negative emotions. And then it may take us more days where we're just thinking about it, losing ourselves in it. So take care of that. Make sure that you stop feeding yourself constantly with all those different things. Then practice whatever can help you to recharge your energy. So regular rest, for example, manage your sleep routine, because that's major. Like in latest science, there's a protocol for sleep known as 10-3-2-1-0, which means that you cut caffeine 10 hours before bed, you don't eat or drink alcohol 3 hours before bed, you stop working 2 hours before bed, you get away from your screens, any screens, phone, TV, anything, 2 hours before bed. And it will help you so much on improving your sleeping cycles, improving the quality of your sleep. So take care of that. If you stay consistent with it, and it's not an easy thing because we have many habits, right? Checking our phones before bed and things like that. We have many of those habits, so we need to take care of all of that. But if you really become consistent with what's the most important to you, like a good quality of sleep, you will eventually start to feel much, much better. You will have so much more energy, but also that awareness of what's truly important to you, how you want to serve this day, how you want to evolve, how you want to expand, and who you want to be will become stronger. And that is big. Then, of course, nature is recharging us because we are the nature. Sunlight, especially a morning and evening light, is so recharging, and you can feel it. If you go outside at the time of the sunrise, you feel like there's something in the air, like you feel recharged after that. And then in the evening, at the time of the sunset, again, you feel like there's an energy that is deeply recharging you. And that's powerful. Practice that. It will help you to cope with all that transformative energy that's in the air right now. Really powerful. Then find a practice that will allow you to feel safe and at peace. because of everything that's going on, and maybe if you're surrounded with people that are constantly consuming fearful information, you may be exposed to many of that, and you may lose a sense of feeling safe. Like you may feel the whole world is falling apart, and it's hard for you then to cultivate an inner peace. So you need to have a practice that can help you to nurture a feeling of being safe, because only when you feel safe, your body goes into a state of rejuvenation, right? When you feel safe, your body feels safe, and when body feels safe, it can start rejuvenating itself, healing itself. You can find a lot of this information in The Science of Epigenetics by Dr. Bruce Lipton, how our environment affects on the expression of genes within our cells. But environment for the cells starts in the blood, and blood is affected by our mind. And when we teach ourselves to tap into a sensation of being safe, like for example through a certain meditation, where you calm down your body and you start generating a sense of gratitude. You generate a sense of care for yourself. You think about people you love and people that love you. And you just focus on that feeling that you sense when that energy is exchanged. Like, for example, when somebody helped you at something, or when somebody showed you a sense of appreciation for you, when somebody hugged you and expressed to you some beautiful words. Focus on that energy that you've experienced at that time, or when you're playing with your pet, or when you're doing something you love, what kind of energy you feel at that moment. If you practice this, you will train yourself to awaken those pleasant emotional sensations. And when we become really good at it, we can awaken them in certain stressful situations. So you may be exposed to something that in the past would trigger a lot of stress within your body. Now you can stay grounded and more at peace with yourself. And therefore you can also provide more of that pleasant energy through your actions, through your way of thinking, and through maybe some words or advices for others that is really beautiful and healthy for your community. Then protect your energy by allowing yourself to have time alone, to have some alone time, right? This is important because we are often serving others, like I said before. Often we are helping others, being there for others. But then having this alone time can help us to reflect our lives. Are we happy with the choices we are making? Are we happy with the food we are consuming? With whatever we are consuming, information, conversations, music, movies, videos, anything. We can reflect on that and see where could we declutter our lives. Like this awareness of what is draining us and what is filling us up with life, right? When we discover what's draining us and what's filling us up, it's much easier to nurture that higher energy through the day. Because we can notice, well, all we need is to find the balance, right? Because you can't just say, well, I will not go to my work if you feel drained out. But noticing how often you need to take breaks, for example, how often you need to stop thinking and focusing on everything you need to do and actually just close your eyes and take a few deep breaths can make a huge change in your life, because you will stop exhausting yourself constantly. And that's how you start to find balance. So reflection of our daily choices and daily actions and basically everything we do can only happen when we have this alone time. We can meditate on that. We can journal with that. And later I will talk more about journaling. It can help us so much to recognize what's pulling us or what's draining us from life. So allow yourself and schedule your alone time. This is so important. Then reflect on your fears and anger. There's no way around this. My friends, we all have certain fears and we all have certain triggers that awaken anger within us. So fear comes from being afraid of losing something we love, something we are attached to. And there is no shortcut to let go of fear, but awareness of how much we are attached to something and realization that at some point we will anyway need to let go of this attachment can help us to realize that all fears are awakened at the time when we are afraid of losing something we are attached to. That's what triggers fear. And letting go of attachments, how can it be done? Well, to me, the easiest way to do that is just to accept the worst case scenario. Just to accept, okay, if I would lose right now everything, if I would lose everything that I have, what would I do? What would happen? Well, if I would truly accept that I've lost everything that I had, I know that the only thing that would really stayed with me is my knowledge and my experiences. And with that, I know that I can build something new. And most probably it would be even better because I've been through something really hard, like losing everything I have. I've been through something really hard. And I'm practicing that. Every time when I'm facing with fears, I'm practicing that. And it's not an easy practice because we need to face with that. And some people may say, well, I don't want to focus on that because I don't want to attract that. But if you don't let go of what may trigger fear within you, you will be doing most of the things for avoiding from your fears. Therefore, you are controlled by your fears. So here and there, it's important to reflect on that. And when it comes to raising our energy, there is no way around this. And then anger, another strong emotion that is controlling us. And when it comes to anger, we need to understand what offended us. We have a certain idea of ourselves. We may think about ourselves that we are important, that we supposed to be loved, that people should appreciate us. And then when somebody is not appreciating us, we may get angry. Or when somebody think that we are not so important, we may get angry. So again, if we reflect on those beliefs that we have, oh, I'm important, oh, I should be loved, or whatever, that's what is causing that neediness. Like, people should respect me. People should appreciate me. At the first place, you should respect yourself. You should appreciate yourself, right? And once we truly start to understand that, we stop needing that from others. We don't need that energy anymore from others, and therefore we are not seeking it in others. And therefore, again, we become free. And the energy changes so much. We stop chasing something. We stop chasing relationships. We stop chasing certain love in others. And that's what becomes magnetic, right? That's what awakens a magnetic vibe within you that attracts to you people who just appreciate you for who you are. But even saying that is already tricky because we may think then that we need to do that so we would become like this kind of a magnet. Just face with your triggers. Deep reflection and introspection on what triggered you will help you to understand yourself better. And some alchemists call that process mental gymnastics because we are training our personality to understand our automatic behaviors better. That's something really, really important, and journaling can help you with that. That's what is cleansing us from all the unnecessary automatic behaviors, right? Automatic reactions, automatic emotional expressions. It cleans us from that, and we become more compassionate. So that's something really, really important. Journaling, like what have you learned from your triggers, will help you so much in this process, especially exposing yourself to somebody that will make you angry is actually really beautiful, because that's how you train yourself to recognize and to catch yourself. Okay, what part of me was triggered right now? What happened? Or anxiety, same thing. Expose yourself to the things that make you anxious, and then just reflect on that. Like, what part of you became anxious? Why? What happened? What you've started protecting? What you've started saying to yourself at the moment you became anxious? And it will lead you to a deep introspection. Like, how are you really responding to those energies? Because that's what's freeing you. That's how you're training yourself. When we go into the gym and we lift weights, those weights are heavy. And if we would be really, really gentle and compassionate towards ourselves, we would say, well, I don't want to do that because it's hard, it's not good for me. But that's why we have this polarity, right? In this third dimension, there's a law of polarity. There are two sides to one core, right? So we have self-compassion, self-kindness, but then we have a willpower and a sense that we need to strengthen ourselves. When we feel weak at something, like social anxiety, for example, there's another side of the coin that says to us, you can train yourself to overcome this pattern. And you can only overcome it by exposing yourself to it and then reflect what happened. What part of you was triggered? Where in your body you've sensed it, and how you've started behaving after you've started sensing this energy. Why I'm talking about this in the video of protecting your energy, because it makes us not running away from it, but actually building the pillar of who we are so we become stronger. That's how we protect our energy, by strengthening the pillar of what we call the self, I am. That's how we actually download and ground more of us into this body, more of ourselves into this body, because we've been so disturbed through all the traumatic experiences that it felt like a part of our soul wanted to escape this life. That's why we feel so weak here and there. And through those practices, we strengthen the pillar. That's why it's so important. And when we do that work, we'll notice many, many changes. We'll start to feel stronger. We'll start to feel more grounded. And what it means to feel grounded, it means that you're not trying to escape anything. You're not trying to do something just to satisfy yourself. You will notice what's really important to you, and you will do anything that's in your power to do that, because you know that what that is not just good for you, but for people around you. So whatever it may be, for me what's important is sharing a message. But more than sharing a message is to practice what I'm saying, so I can see that it's possible for myself first. So when I share it with you, I can say from my heart that it truly works and that it will improve your life. That's what is really important to me. Anything else, I don't care much, because at the end of the day, I think we're all here for that self-evolution, and self-evolution can't happen by being selfish, right? You can only evolve when you expose yourself to what's hard, to what you're afraid of, to what makes you anxious. That's how we are evolving, because then we go back home, we reflect, and we expose ourselves again. It's same as when you expose yourself to cold water, for example. It's hard to be in there, but when you get out, your body starts warming up and you become a bit stronger for the next time you will go into it, until at some point you become like used to it. But it's not so much important that you became used to it. Your sense for handling stress became stronger. So then you can do anything and you will not feel so stressed about it. So we are training ourselves to strengthen our energy. And that is something that is really, really important. But also know that acceptance for the things that they are as they are will help you to release any need to change them. Because we can't change what is, but we can focus on what we'll do with that, right? Often we focus, well, I wish things would be different, but things are as they are. We can't change that, but we can change what we will do with that. And that's where we become architects for our future, right? So acceptance, knowing that everything is precisely as it needs to be, will help you to see what can you do with that. Remember, in one of my previous videos, I said to you that you've been guided all the time. You've been guided by fear and by intuition. And fear will urge you to take the easy path. The easy path where everything will be simple. Everything will be easy. And everything will be good, except you will be lacking a sense of life. But intuition then will inspire you to take the hard path, where you will be exposed to many anxious situations, to many fears, to many hard moments, but you will get a sense of fulfillment. So we are always choosing between these two sensations, fear or intuition. And it's up on us what we'll choose, which voice we'll choose, the easy path or the hard path, the path where we have everything but a lack of life, or the path where we don't have everything. And some steps may be hard and we may go through the dark night of the soul, but we have a sense of fulfillment. So it's always up on us. And choice is always ours. So take care about it. It's something that needs to sink in a little bit. And we need to ask our hearts what it truly means. So my friends, this is it for this video. It's a bit longer, but I think it's really practical and there's a lot of value in it. So I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Have a beautiful day. Until next time, one love.